Very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to Jamaican Explosion, and I'm just glad you're here with us this evening. How you doing today out there in a Jamaican Explosion land? It's a pleasure to be here this Saturday evening, and I cannot believe, Nadine, that we have gotten to the end of the month.
Oh yes, oh yes, that's like so crazy, but it's spring, guys, and so much stuff happening outdoors, so much festivals and stuff happening outdoors. So, and it's a spring break for some persons, so I hope y'all going out to enjoy the parks, the festivals, the festivities that's going on, and it's a nice day to be outside.
Yes, indeed. Of course. And all we have to do is just make sure that we do a nice, tight show, and then we could go outside and enjoy the beautiful evening that we have in store for us. Great things are happening, and we have had a very, fascinating month of women, with fascinating women and that have come on the program this month in honor of Women's Month, and I've quite enjoyed all the ladies and their different fields that they're in, and of course you're going to hand everything out for us today, Miss Nadine. Okay.
Yes, I am. And guys, forgive me, but I'm just starstruck by these amazing women that I'm going to be talking with because I tell you, they wear so many hats. Oh my gosh. And they're wearing it so well. They all deserve a crown to go on top of that hat. I'm just so excited, guys.
Okay, well, so on that note, then I'll get you started, and I'm gonna take a little back seat for most of the show because I want Nadine to have all these ladies surrounding her, all for herself. Okay, all right. So let's first introduce our first guest for the evening, Nadine.
So our first guest for today is Dr. Maxine Wilson, guys. She's wearing so many hats. Dr. Wilson, welcome, welcome, welcome. Visionary, strategist, analyst, leader. Did I miss anything out?
I'm a Jamaican, I mean, I think we should know by now. I do a little bit of everything, but
Like a true Jamaican,
like
right?
a true Jamaican.
So, Dr. Wilson, let me start a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where in Jamaica you're from, and how did you end up in Atlanta?
Well, I'm a Claridonian, proud of it. Yeah. I hail from a very small town in just outside of Maypen. I'm a Glenmuir girl. I have to plug that
Oh,
always.
I'm a client and college, so you know we're not friends.
That's okay. It's all love. Um, I've been here for a very long time. In my early life, I came here. I first came to New York. I was in New York for a while, and then in 2006 we relocated to Atlanta. I came kicking and screaming, but because once you have that New York culture, it's kind of that's it. But I've adjusted and I've adapted, and I've been very, very comfortable and active in my new city, my adopted city.
That must have been quite a culture shock because for me, coming from New York and just jumping on the subway and stuff, it was quite an adjustment. How was it for you?
It was an adjustment. It was an adjustment. Everything was different. And coming here, like you said, for the transportation, the shock, driving in ice was just not. It was a lot of culture shock. But I decided to make the best of it, and so I transplanted, but I didn't change who I was. So
And that's important. That is so important. You stay true to your beliefs and your culture. So I see that you have 5 children, 10 grandchildren. That's another one of the hats you're wearing.
yes, so I have a blended a marriage where I got some bonus babies when the youngest was 3 years old. So pretty much they're mine. I have two of my biologically, but they're all my children. You know how it is. We don't split hairs about steps and halves. That don't work. That's just measurements.
Right, right, right.
We have a blended family, and of that we have 10 grandchildren, ranging from 20, almost 24 this year to three. I have to think about it.
I understand. So, with juggling that family life, that family structure, when did you find time to become a visionary, a strategist, an analyst, and so much more? How, you know?
I tell people that time was never a constraint for me. I was raising 5 children and a husband, and accomplished 3 degrees while working full time and managing 2 community organizations. I
True
guess
Jamaican.
it's a whole lot of blessings, a whole lot of divine strength and protection, and some whole lot of what I've known since I was a kid growing up and being around, um, a family, especially my grandfather, who was not just a visionary, but he was a community leader, fought hard for everything and so I grew up in a structure where I saw a fight. I saw fight for I saw advocacy. I saw a fight for quality of life. I saw a fight for representation. And it is true, children do live what they learn and learn what they live. So I've always had that.
But like I said, I was actually talking to somebody this morning, Dr. Coates. So I'll talk to her later, and she was juggling the home life as well, similar to you. And I'm just amazed that having 5 children, you're able to still get that degree and still be such an activist for the community. Because some persons they do have one or two, and they just focus on their family versus being a community activist.
It's all about and it's all about balance. Everything we do in life have to be about balance. There are some times when you have to say no to one thing in order for something else to happen. But one of the things also is about surrounding yourself with people that you can trust and people who will support your endeavors, and so you can delegate to the people. You bring people in who have the same vision, and you allow them to function with you. So you learn how to lead through delegation, and you know your limits. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. So you have people who stand in for you and who support you. And I have to say, I have a family who supports just about everything I do. I always say my husband's my biggest supporter. Everything I'm doing, he's right there. And to be honest with you, activism and community service it wasn't just something I got up one day and said, oh, hey, I'm going to do this today. I kind of felt like I learned it all. I knew it was there, but there was a trigger. Something triggered it one day, and woke up the sleeping giant, and then that was it. I just never looked back.
I see where this says you represent national civil rights abuses, discrimination, and fair housing issue and social justices. That's quite a lot you're taking on.
So it started when I actually I found myself, I wanted a piece of the American dream, and I bought a home, and it turned out that it was you know fraudulent in a lot of ways, and it was based on the fact that who I was in terms of my skin color. And I looked around me and I recognized it was a lot of people from the Caribbean that was there. It was a lot of police officers and teachers and civil servants in general. And I remember saying to the builder one day, just showcasing something to him, and it was as simple as something that would have cost about $700 to fix. And he said to me, "Ain't gonna happen." And in as innocent as that might have sound, something just snapped in that moment. And I just started, I remember going into my basement and locking myself in there and throw every paper I ever had on the floor and start playing juggle and match things together. And then I start to see the holes and the fraud and all that kind of stuff that was coming together. So, I decided to do something about it. I went ahead and you know knocked on every door that looked like mine or something that the developer built, and I just went ahead and from there I just decided that I was gonna fight, and we ended up putting you know Staten Island and Long Island together and fighting, and it was a 14-year battle, but in the end we were victorious.
That's incredible that you actually hung in there that long. Some persons, they would have been like giving up and just like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm out of New York.
It would have been easy to run, but for me, at that point, when you get to that place where you feel like now you're stepping in purpose and your steps are being ordered, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but every time I needed something, I needed a resource, I needed some information, it just came. It was just there. And so I knew it was a battle I had to fight to the end. And I did. I mean, I saw it through. We went all the way to uh, the Congressional Caucus to give testimony and all of that. And then I thought when I moved to Atlanta, I said, okay, I've done that. Took up so many years of my life. I'm done. And they say if you want to see God laugh, tell him your plans. And I was like, I'm done. But here I am, still fighting, still working, still serving my community.
And that's good. That's good. Also, I see you're the originator, the person whose baby was for the taste of Mableton. You want to share with us a little bit about your vision and where you see it going forward, your legacy, and how.
Well, the Taste of Mapleton was born out of, COVID happened, and I had just moved to a new community, and I moved the same week the country shut down. So I was sitting here, couldn't get deliveries, couldn't get anything, no internet, nothing. I'm just sitting here like back to the basics. And after a while, we had become a little bit wary, and I noticed a lot of new people moving in. And so I decided I wanted to. They didn't know where they were, moving to, what the businesses were. And so I invited some business in to come in and share with the community what it was that they had to offer. And people started to know who the businesses were and stuff like that. And people got excited about it. And so I refer to the Taste of Mableton as my kingdom assignment, because I believe I am a connector, and I'm about unity. The thing that makes me and that will make me fight for a very long time is inequity. That just makes my blood boil about inequity. So when I looked around the community, I thought, well, we're a very diverse community, extremely diverse. There's no one dominant population, race, or ethnicity or anything. And I looked at it, and I started to look at the fact that, beyond just race and ethnicity, there was some other things that was different, inequitable in some areas, but at the same time, wonderful things that were happening. What I find is that sometimes people are very unforgiving. So something happened in a community 20 years ago, they never let it go. They move, but they still bash the community. And it's like, okay, so I wanted to bring the community together. So at that point, I just gotten onto the board of the Mableton Improvement Coalition, wrote a proposal and brought it to the board and said, hey, we really need to bring the community together. In fact, in that time, and it wasn't as popular now, but I told the board I wanted to do it in a one love style. That's it. And I said, in the words of Bob Marley, let's get together. And so we did that. But with the Taste of Mableton, when people hear that, they think it's just about food. And food is a major part of it. But it's about the sights, the sounds, the taste of the community. It's about bringing people together in one place, in unity, to be able to get to know your neighbors get to know you, to open up our schools and showcase what is happening in some of the schools. So we have the education pavilion. And the first year I really wanted to have the ministers. We at that point now we're a city and we're much larger. We are now the newest and largest city in Cobb County, and so at the time we had about 50 churches across the regular, the general population. And I'm thinking, man, this is a way to unite people, but we couldn't get them together the first year. So a handful showed up, and then the second year we had about 25 churches represented. Well, this year we actually have Faith Village and we have the One Mableton Ministers Coalition marching in the parade together this year. We also have something very unique this year, is that we are going to be from the amphitheater debuting the Taste of Mableton One City Choir. We are actually putting a one city choir on stage this year. It's come a long way. Our sponsors make it possible because it takes a lot of money to do that stuff. And we are an all volunteer nonprofit organization, but our sponsors make it possible for us. They support us. And so that, the first year we had about 3,500 people show up. Last year we had about 6,000. And so this year we're planning for about 10,000, and we're on track. And we start with a parade now. I mean, we had to extend the parade route this year. And even though we closed the registration about 3 weeks ago, we're still getting asked about participating in the parade, because this year we have three high school marching bands that are going to participate this year. We've extended the route, and we have so many people. It's an ability to showcase all the things we have happening in our community. Of course, we have a lot of different food, a fusion of food. We love to eat. The Taste of Mableton, basically, and you can appreciate this, is the fact that I wanted to demonstrate a global citizen. I wanted to talk about how we connect through food. And so I used sorrel. To demonstrate that. And the way we did that was to show around the world, sorrel is used in a lot of different ways, and everybody called it something different. And depending on the region and the culture, you add something to it. Of course, we come out of Jamaica, we're going to pour some rum in there. If you go to Egypt, it's tea with spices. And you go to Africa, they make it with fruit. In Mexico, it's tea drinking all day long. And so we wanted to show that it doesn't matter where you are or how you use it. If you use it to bake, to cook, to drink, you have to first put it in boiling water to get the juice. It doesn't come any other way. You just have to put it in hot water to get the juice. And so we wanted people to understand that it didn't matter how our region and our cultures or our geography influence who we are. At the core, we are all the same. And Sorrel did that very beautifully for me, to be able to demonstrate that as a global citizen connected through food.
I can hear you sound like a proud mama bear, right?
I am.
I was there last year, and I must say I definitely enjoyed it. And I actually enjoyed my sorrel experience, because I think it was Dominica. Somebody from Dominica, they had a stall, and we tried
Yeah.
the way they did sorrel. And of course, the Atlanta Jamaican Association, we participated in the parade, and it was wonderful. And guys, we're doing it again this year. So if you're Jamaican and live close to Mableton, or even further away, come on out. It's gonna be exciting. Come on out in your colors, your flags, because guess what, we want to bring some of the Cab and Gwinnett over to our side and make it bigger and better and represent us Jamaicans. And it's so much fun.
Absolutely. And the AJA, the Atlanta Jamaican Association, have always supported us. And they've, look, you guys bring the gritter cake and the bread pudding and all that stuff. I'd be in some corner and somebody say, hey, so-and-so said to give you this. And I'd be like, wow, somebody knew exactly what I wanted in this moment. But, leading up to it, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of coordinating. But like you said, the day when it happens, the minute that parade steps off, it's almost like I just gave birth. This proud mama just watching her baby, just everything just happening. And this year we're actually making a mark and leaving it. We have what we call the Pillars of Mableton, The community came together, we decided what we wanted to do. We created 6 8-foot posts where community members came in and painted
Wow.
their vision for the community on these posts, and they will be unveiled and permanently displayed at the Mabel House Arts Center. And we are so happy and so looking forward to that experience come April 13th. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. There are just so many new things happening this year that it's just going to be such a fun experience.
Another thing highlight that I remember last year was the different high school bands and choirs that you had performing. Just seeing such young talent. That was amazing.
Well, this year we've added the elementary school. We have their jazz chorus, and we have the guys with bow ties and the girls on the run that's going to be participating this year. This year we have some live demos. One of the high school culinary department is actually going to come out and do some demos for us. And so there's going to be a lot more happening. The highlight also this year is the fact that the city of Mableton is turning one um, since the incorporation, the new incorporation. And so we're looking to that, to celebrating that as well. And we're going to have those same bands, high school bands. We've added a third one. And we're going to be having an African drumming and dance group that's going to be performing. And this year, Gospel Hour is going to be happening again like it did last year, except this year I'm expecting a revival for at least an hour in the pavilion when the choir take the stage.
What time does the entertainment? So I know the parade. Oh, guys, the parade, if you want to be a part of the Atlanta Jamaican Association parade, if you have your Jamaican colors, the lineup starts at 7:30 at the Floyd Middle School. So come on out if you want to be a part of the parade. The parade actually starts at 9, but if you want to be a part of it, you have to meet us there at 7:30. What time is the other entertainment gonna be?
When the parade enters the pavilion, the fun starts, and our first act will be the Pebblebrook High School chorus Rejoice, that's going to take stage at about 11:30 a.m.
Guys, it was so much fun. I really hope you come on out and see that. See the parade, be a part of the parade, because once again, we want to bring Jamaica to Mableton. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you guys have done a good job of it, but you all have a lot of competition this year because everybody wanted a piece of something. But we know how that work out. Once the music start in the pavilion,
Yeah. We trying to do our thing. I won't let anything out, but guys, I need the numbers. I need them to see the colors. So come on out in your colors. Let's represent. Let's show them we're a small island, but we do know how to represent.
and we have a lot of Jamaican vendors this year, so you won't be you can have home away from home in the taste this year. We have quite a few Jamaican offerings this year, including Jamaican fast food. Go figure.
For me, another highlight for me was actually the different drinks. I was going around and doing all the natural juices and stuff, and like I had my little bag and I was taking home like little samples that I bought from different vendors, and they were real good. I remember there was Petite Ink that did that fancy candle that looks so gorgeous. I hope they come out again this year. There was just so much, and I think there was like a queen or somebody.
Our high school Teen Georgia was there, and we have all that. But as you can imagine, every year we have to add something new. So we have a few new additions this year that we're not sharing just yet. You have to be there to see it. You have to be there to be a part of it. And believe me when I tell you, it's free. It's free entry. And we're able to keep it as free entry because of the fact that, like I said, our sponsors are very good to us and allowing us to be able to do that. But there is something for everyone. There is just something for everyone. We have our law enforcement partners who bring out all the big assets, the big guns. This year we're adding drones and all of that stuff that they bring out and allow anyone for that matter to come in and see it up close, be a part of it, have conversations. The thing about the Taste of Mableton is that it bring the business community, the school, the residents, it bring everyone together in the same space at the same time, and there is something for everyone to do, but at the same time it give you an opportunity to explore your community all in one place at the same time in one day.
For me, another thing, I like the fact that the law enforcement, they were there directing traffic from the onset and everything. They made the process real smooth in terms of parking and even participating in the parade. They managed the crowd. So hats off to them for doing that.
Well, I have to tell you that we have very good. The Mableton Improvement Coalition have very good working relationship with our local and county government and with our law enforcement partners, and it's a give and take, and they help us out a lot with what it is that we need to accomplish. This year we have some, because this year it's bigger and we're anticipating more people, and more of our business partners around the venue is allowing us parking space this year. There no question asked. It's just like, well, you need the parking, you'll have the parking. So we are anticipating a blowout this year in a good way, in terms of people just having fun and being able to enjoy themselves and being able to have a little party and a little church and a little feast and a little fun all at the same time. We've expanded the family fun zone this year and actually put in more games and a game truck and all that good stuff. So it's happening. It's happening, and it's happening quickly.
Well, can you tell I'm as excited about it as you are?
Well, you've been at day one, so yeah, you've been at day one, so you've seen the progression and you see all the things that we have to offer, and we're a bunch of people who get together, and in that moment, it's not who's from Gwinnett or who's from wherever. Everybody in that day is that one Mableton stronger together. That is the theme on which we stand, and we are proud to stand on it because we have seen the value of unity across our community. I chair the Economic Development Committee, and for me, placemaking and economic development goes hand in hand. And so it's for that reason why we do what we do through food. This year, we have a wellness and health village where we will have screenings on site using the Kaiser mobile unit. We will also have vaccines, and if you think you qualify for some benefits, they'll be on site to sign you up for it. We will also have a Healthy Start program, being sharing information there. We have our DA's office. We have some of our judges that will be doing education, and we have a whole civic circle this year. Our tax commissioner is there every year. So if you've never, you get an opportunity to see people up close and personal, and you get an opportunity to get information directly. A lot of us can't take the time out to go see, what's going on here or there. We bring it to you in that pavilion at the Taste of Mableton. This year we have over 90 vendors.
Wow. Bigger and better each year.
Yes. Last year we were about 65. This year we have over 90 vendors, and that does not include about 17 schools that will be in the education pavilion and the churches that are coming together under one banner.
For me, I'm just glad you're gonna have more food trucks because that line was so long. So I'm just glad that there's gonna be more food trucks. And
we've doubled the food trucks and we've added food booths.
What about vegan? I hope you have some good vegans.
I got vegan. There's vegan, but you might just feel the vibe to have some fusion Jamaican, some oxtail taco, and some Philly cheesesteak on a cocoa bread.
Wow. Y'all making me feel like I can't miss this event.
You can't miss it. It's a can't miss event. To tell you, my
Mm.
my tribe are coming in from New York, from Florida, from my tribe, and I roll deep with my tribe, and they all coming in.
All right, okay. So Nadine, up in Mableton on Saturday, April the 13th, huh? That's going to be the
Yes.
place to be. Oh, what a wonderful young lady that we have with us today. And to know that you started this, you are to be commended for this. And we're definitely going to come up with AJA and support. Okay?
Yes, please do. I love to see the colors across the pavilion. I love to see the party across the pavilion because ain't nowhere you go where Jamaicans are at where there ain't a party. So
That's right.
we're gonna have a party.
We're gonna represent Dr. Maxine. Thank you so much for coming. We didn't even get to touch the tip of the iceberg with your being a writer and stuff, so you're gonna have
Mm,
to come back. But I'm so looking forward to the taste of Mableton, and I'm gonna come hunt you down
You
because
ain't gotta hunt me down. I'll be the one in the front yelling and screaming at everybody from the
that's
bullhorn
good.
saying, get
That's
in
good.
line, get stepping, keep moving.
it was beautiful last year, and I don't remember which group it was that was on the horses, and those colors were so
It's the
vibrant.
TEOTL. It's TEOTL, and they are a cultural group that advance the Mexican culture here in the United States. So they teach you about the cultures, and they were in full dress.
Mm-hmm.
And this year the sugar canes are going to be on stage for us this year too.
Wow,
So
that's
Yes,
great.
guys, a
That's
little
great.
culture.
Okay. Well, all right, Tom. Definitely we're going to be there, and we're looking forward to having you back here with us again, Miss Maxine, Dr. Maxine Wilson from Jamaica.
from
Yes.
Clarendon, yes.
Aaron done
Oh,
the
yes,
little
but
Washington
I'm
over
just
wearing
I'm just so
million
proud to see
hats.
all these Jamaican women making their mark in the South. Here, all over the country, of course, but especially here in the South. And just keep on doing your thing. And Miss Nadine, thank you for arranging this interview this evening with Dr. Maxine Wilson. And we're looking forward to having you back. Maybe a couple of shows after. Let's talk about it. We're talking about it before it happens now,
We
but
can talk about it. We
yeah,
can talk about it. And you can
yeah,
take notes. You can come to the Taste of Mapleton and take notes, and then we can talk about
yeah, we're gonna talk about it, right? Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I
And
see
guess
what
what?
the Hall family is watching.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for watching, Diane Hall and family.
And let them know, Nadine, that if they need to join the conversation here, all they have to do is go over to the YouTube and click on the link there, and you're right into the show. You could leave your comments right here at Jamaican Explosion. But yeah, we have another great guest.
Thank you, Dr.
Waiting
Maxine.
Thank you for having me, and I'll see you on
yeah.
the 13th.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes, Nadine. And as we continue, I'm going to bring our next guest on here in just a second. And I understand that she's another powerhouse too. So you got all the powerhouses to
I know,
end
I
it off
know.
with here.
Like today, I'm just like in hugs heaven, as they would say. I'm talking to some fantastic women, and
Yeah.
we're closing out Women's Month. We are claiming the month, and we are closing it out in style.
Okay, here she go. And as she comes on, I want to welcome Judge. And as you come on, I'm gonna leave you to Nadine. This is her show today. This is Women's Month, and this is her show today.
Thank you.
Hi, Judge Michael. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am good. And I must say, every time I see you, the first thing I see is your winning smile. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
If I didn't know your profession, I would think you're always smiling. Just your face, you just always so radiant. I just love looking at you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So today, guys, we're talking with Judge Suzette Smichael. So, Judge Smichael, tell us a little bit about your background and how did you end up in Atlanta?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks again for having me. It's just really a pleasure to be here and on this Easter weekend and Women's History Month. I want to start off by saying that I am appearing in my personal capacity. So whatever I say and express is my personal views and not the views of my employer. As you can imagine, as a judge, I have to say those things. But thank you for having me. So, how did I end up in Atlanta? Well, first of all, I'm Jamaican through and through, Kingston, Jamaica, born in Jubilee Hospital. So I'm very much a Jamaican and proud of my upbringing and proud of my history of growing up in Kingston, a product of a mother from Clarendon and a father from St. Catherine. And so, growing up in Jamaica, I grew up in Whitfield Town, right next to Trench Town, right off Maxfield Avenue. And I know a lot of Jamaicans will know exactly where I'm talking about. And then we moved around quite a bit and eventually ended up near Hagley Park Road and Walton Park Road. So I had just wonderful parents who always instilled in me education and working hard and believing in myself that whatever I wanted to do, I would be able to do no matter our circumstances. So I just always knew that I wanted to do something that would help other people. I figured out that that would be the law. And I figured that out pretty young. I don't know why. But I would be telling my family, my friends, my aunts, my uncles that I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. And as I grew up, it stuck. And my job brought me all around the world and eventually led me here to Atlanta, where I started here first in 2010, sight unseen. I came here first as a federal prosecutor with the U.S. Attorney's Office. And I had never been to the city of Atlanta before. And I did my interview from Lima, Peru via video. My brother and his wife and family lived in, I think, Conyers at the time. And I took the bus from a trip to Columbus, got off at the bus station and went straight to Covington, never really seeing Atlanta. And then I did this interview from Lima, Peru for a job in Atlanta and then came here after I got the job offer. So I just came on, believing in God and my faith that I would love this city. And I did. I ended up loving this city very much. I very much believe it's a city that fits me and fits my personality. So I left for a couple of years to join the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami. And now I'm back. I've been back almost 2 years now in my capacity where I am now. And I'm super excited and happy to be back in Atlanta. I love this city. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the music. I love the food. I love all the neighborhoods. I think it's a great place to live.
So
But compared to Jamaica,
no, we're no better than yet.
That's right.
So I see you've skipped out on all the places you've traveled to. Just imagine a little Jamaican and all the places you've been. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
someone said they're watching from Jamaica. Woo-hoo.
Oh, excellent. So I've been a traveler my whole life. Even when I was a kid in Jamaica, my mother used to send me to go, not just to visit my grandparents in Clarendon, but I would go visit my cousins and auntie in St. Mary. And I was never afraid to travel. And I just loved the experience and visiting people. So that just kind of continued my whole life. So I've lived and traveled to a lot of countries. I've lived in Dakar, Senegal. I've lived in Bujumbura, Burundi, Niamey, Niger, Kigali, Rwanda, Lima, Peru, of course, that I just mentioned. And then I've traveled throughout Africa, South America, Central America, a little bit of Europe for work, doing development work, reinforcing the capacity of different legal officials to do their work, and mostly to fight terror and other things. But also to explore culture and language and connect with other people around the world. That's something that's really important to me and something I've incorporated into my life and my lifestyle.
Oh, you should know by now, Judge Michael, that you're my daughter's favorite person.
I love your daughter. So very much been such a pleasure to get to know her. So and tell her to call me more, please.
Today's her birthday, so it won't be
What?
today.
Wonderful. Happy
But
birthday, Gabby.
you're such an inspiration to her, not just being a lawyer, but your ability to travel all over and your experience, and just looking at you, although the cultures have been so differently, you still seem to have been able to adapt. How has that part been for you?
Well, adapting to the American culture or adapting to
Oh, like
around
based
the
on
world.
the fact that you've lived so many places, how
Hmm.
do you adapt from the US then to there, then back here?
I mean, I think one of the main ways you adapt is understanding that the human experience is um, common wherever you go around the world. You may have different languages, you may have different foods, you may have different landscapes and mountains and water, but the heart is the same. Your love for your family is the same. Your desire to make a better life for your people is the same. The desire to not be in constant war is the same. To not have to fear walking out your door and facing assaults. All of those things are pretty fundamental, and we all connect with that. And when you meet someone, you can feel their energy, you can feel um, the connection, even if you don't speak the same language. And so, knowing that, traveling and adapting is an opportunity to learn and to celebrate your fellow human being. So, once you approach it as we're not different, but we're actually just fellow human beings trying to learn about each other and share our culture and learn about somebody else's culture, it's pretty easy to adapt. And I just love, I love languages, so I try to learn the language of where I'm going. I speak French, and I used to speak Spanish pretty well, but now it's a little rusty, but it's getting better. And I also try to learn some of the language where I'm going to, and it's amazing how much people appreciate just little gestures like that, even if it's a hello or a thank you. And it immediately connects people. It immediately puts people at ease to show that you're there to learn about them and communicate with them and really learn about their culture. So, you just adapt. And we're humans. Humans are made to adapt to whatever environments they're placed in as long as they're willing to do so and are open about, their circumstance.
So I know I get asked a lot. Once persons know that I'm Jamaican, do they ask you like to say something in patois or something like that?
It's funny because I think I don't really have that strong of an accent, but I meet people all the time who are like, "You're not from here. Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What? Do you hear my accent?" They're like, "Yes." I'm like, "I don't think I don't hear it as much as other people do." Um, but it's funny, when I was younger, people would say that, say something in patois, whatever. It doesn't happen as much now as before. But you know you always oblige and say simple things that we all say, wapm, medea and whatever. But I also explain to people that there are different accents in Jamaica. It's not like Jamaica is just one accent, and you go to different communities and they have different words for things and different ways of saying things. And the people from Kingston will talk about the people from country, and so we're not just one little country that have talk the same and everybody sound the same. We all have very different cultures, even within Jamaica. That's one of the most beautiful things about Jamaica.
Yeah, we're such a melting pot. There's so many other countries blend together with Jamaicans.
Yes, exactly. And I love it. That's one of the reasons why I'm an American and I'm proud to be in America and I'm proud to represent the United States in the work that I do. But I'm still also a Jamaican and I appreciate my country and I appreciate all the amazing people it's produced. Jamaicans are stretched all the way across the world. And, in my travels, whenever people learn that I'm Jamaican, the embrace is even warmer than before. You know, it's really tremendous to see how loved Jamaicans are around the world.
Yeah. So, okay, so Jamaicans, sometimes we're picky eaters. What's something that you've eaten that we as Jamaicans would be like, not me?
ask that question because, my family knows that I don't eat meat. I don't eat land animals. I don't eat dairy. There are a lot of things that I don't eat, but I love eating and I love food. My niece, Deidre, used to be like, people would be like, Suzette, you need to eat. And my niece would be like, Suzette eats a lot. So, I love to eat. I love food. I love spices, all those different things. But I'm not super adventurous in eating, random animals or bugs just because, I try to eat a pretty healthy diet. But I will say, years ago, I went to Kenya and this was before I stopped eating meat. So this is more than 20 years ago. And I went to a restaurant called Carnivore. And at that time, I ate a lot of different animals. And I think I had like impala. So when you go on safari, you're looking for lions and cheetahs and tigers. What you will mostly see are impalas. Everywhere you look, oh, there goes another impala. And people eat them. So I had that at a restaurant once, and it was okay. It was fine.
That's the way they do to keep the species down. Just like if you have too many deers, they start hunting.
Exactly. Impalas are like deer. They're everywhere.
Wow, trust that sounds amazing, your life experiences. So have you thought about maybe putting some of the stuff in a book or anything, some of your experiences? Is that
Um, I've thought about it. I have friends who've said to me that I should write a book. And from time to time, I have written in my journals throughout my travels. And I think it's very important to have a journal, whether you're traveling or not, just to be able to write about your feelings and your experiences. And it makes such a difference when you go back and look at some of the things. I used to think about like my text messages to friends and my photographs would be sort of my journal. So I take a lot of photographs. I'm a sort of amateur photographer. And I think of those photographs as triggering memories. So even if I haven't written down a particular event or story, I have a photograph that documents it in some way. So I'm hoping that one day, if I ever decide to write a book, that I'll just gather all of my pictures and it'll just form a story.
Okay, I hope you have somewhere real good you're storing it, because I remember a friend of mine who she likes storing photos. Her house went up in flames and she lost all her stuff. So I hope you're doing the cloud or some other form of backup.
Yes, yeah. Let's not say that, wish that, but yes, I'm definitely having backups all over the place. That's important.
Yeah, you have some of the VHS too that you need to convert.
I tried watching a VHS the other day because I used to be in a dance company in college and we did this performance and I have it on VHS and I tried to watch it and it didn't play. I don't know if these new TVs can't handle the VHS. So
I think CVS or one of those companies, I think they convert them for you.
yeah, I need to do that because I definitely have some VHS and I have cassette tapes as well that I listen to because I still have my cassette tape player.
Wow, we're dating ourselves, aren't we?
I know.
Gabriel probably wondering, what are we talking about?
But I love keeping things and treasuring things. Not a pack rat per se, but I do think it's important to have photographs. As much as I have digital photographs, I also have a lot of photo albums and print photographs to just remember those precious times with friends and family.
Yeah, I know a friend. One of the things she does when she travels, she buys a postcard and mail it to herself, and that way it comes back with the stamp and everything, and then she puts it in a little album.
Yeah, well, it's funny. That works if you're living in a place that has postcards.
Right?
I have lived in a lot of places or been to a lot of places that don't have postcards. So my friends and I and coworkers and I would joke when we were in Niamey that people would always ask us to send postcards and we would laugh because we're like, there are no postcards. from Niamey, Niger. So we're not even sure where there's a post office, much less postcards. But we can take photographs and send it to you. But yeah, I live and work in a lot of places that's not necessarily the most glamorous, but are pretty beautiful, and especially the people. My friends in Niger and Burundi are still my family. They're friends. I have friends in Peru who I'm still in touch with and visit. I just went back and visited again last year, even though I lived there more than 10 years ago. So I've been really blessed and fortunate to have met some wonderful people around the world and in my travels, and been able to stay in touch with a lot of them.
Well, I'm so excited that you were able to join us for this month, because I know each time I try to get with you, you have so much going on.
I know, I know. Life is busy, but not, I don't even know. I take that back. Life isn't busy. Life is beautiful. And because of that, there are a lot of things going on. And if I wasn't living, then I would have nothing going on. So I'm just grateful that to be alive and to be able to do things and have things going on. But I'm delighted that we were able to find a time that I could make it on.
And I see your whole support team coming on. Oh my God, they are just popping in. Paulette James says, "Hi, Judge Michael. Yes, cuz we love that smile." Carlene Ferren says, "Congrats. So proud of you, my dear." I mean, nothing beats family. I can see you're surrounded by all that love and support coming out.
Yes, yes. I'm very blessed to have incredible friends and an amazing family. And when I had my investiture to become a judge, which took place in Miami, I invited different people, friends and family, not really expecting that many would be able to make it. And so many people came down and flew down to Miami, some just for the night, fly in and then flew out the very next morning. And I was so appreciative of that. The staff at the courthouse said they had never seen the courtroom that packed for an investiture. So I was, it was really very touching. And, I think part of why I have my spirit is because I'm an extension of my friends and family, and an extension of my mother, who was the most amazing mother imaginable, and my father as well. I had incredible parents, as I mentioned at the beginning, and I'm also my grandmother's grandchild and my great grandmother's grandchildren. And in celebrating Women's History Month, I have to say that I come from a very long line of amazing, amazing women. Not only was my mother just an incredible person, but my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother, was this pastor in Jamaica. She started a church, minister. She was a discerner, a spiritual healer, just this powerhouse of a woman. She preached in all of the parishes in Jamaica. She was in high demand. And whenever I get down about myself, or just not having the best day, I just think, but her blood runs through me. And if her blood's runs through me, then there's nothing that I can't do. And it's just in honor of all the women in my life as we celebrate Women's History Month. I'm very proud of coming from that line, and living my life to make them proud, quite frankly.
Wow, that's like I said, I'm just in awe of you ladies. I mean, from Dr. Wilson to you, Judge Michael, I'm like fanning out right now.
Well, you too, Nadine. I've met you when I first came up to speak with the Atlanta Jamaica Association, and and what our organization, because I feel like I'm a part of it now, even though I've been busy to participate in everything I want to. But I'm proud of all the work that you're doing too in the community, and the light that you're shining on people, whether it's through this platform or through any other platform. And that's just a testament to not just women, but Jamaicans, and how we are very proud to be Jamaican. Not everywhere is like that. I've traveled to countries where I cannot find a t-shirt that says the name of the country on it. and I have to get it custom made or something. That is not our problem in Jamaica. You know, you can find a shirt, a hat, a belt, or whatever with the Jamaican colors because we're very proud of who we are. And I think, that's a really beautiful thing.
Jamaica, no problem, man. So, Judge Michael, before you leave us, give us one word of encouragement that can be a mentor or something that the young ones like Gabrielle can take away.
Well, I always, people will always ask me, one of the questions people ask all the time is, have you always wanted to be a judge? Did you know you wanted to be a judge? And I didn't. I wasn't necessarily aspiring to be a judge. It wasn't like I had my career planned out and this was the step I imagined happening. But what I did have planned out is a purpose. I knew that whatever I decided to do in life in terms of a job, it needed to be something where I felt connected to the mission and that I was helping other people and that I was in service of other people. That's what made me function and that's what makes me click, knowing that whatever I'm doing, I'm using the skills that I have, the talents that I have to help other people. And I would, anytime an opportunity came to me and presented itself to me, that's how I would evaluate it. Does this fit with my purpose? Will this allow me to help other people? Will this allow me to use the skills that I have, the talents that I have, the desire, the passion that I have to help other people? And while doing that, fulfill me because I'm important too, just like other people are. I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I enjoy doing and allows me to go to sleep at night feeling like I have contributed to the world in some way and I am forwarding God's will because God is all that matters to me and in the end that I'm living my life in his purpose. So I always tell young people that you don't necessarily have to have a specific job that you have to do because opportunities will present themselves that you never imagined. Most of my travel overseas presented themselves to me. I didn't go seeking them out. I didn't go looking for a job in Bujumbura, Burundi, or Kigali, Rwanda. It presented itself to me in some way or in the other. And then I would have to evaluate whether or not going to Bujumbura, Burundi, or Niamey, Niger, would forward my purpose of helping other people and making the world a little bit better for people to live in it. And so then I would take that opportunity. And becoming a judge has allowed me to do that. The same thing, the opportunity presented itself, and I decided to go ahead and pursue that because I knew that, I had the skills to be able to help other people and have that compassion for people who would present themselves before me. But also, my commitment to the rule of law and honoring and people's due process and giving people their day in court was something that was also important to me. So I knew becoming a judge, even if it wasn't in my sites originally, would line up with my purpose. So to all the young people out there and to all the older people out there, to everyone out there, just think about your purpose and then other things will flow from that as long as you stick to that.
Beautifully said, Judge Michael. Beautifully said. Pastor Robert, you want to get a word in?
Wow, 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 Judge, you are amazing. Oh, it's so good to have you here with us today, and just down to earth. I'm saying, Judge, what does down to earth? I know Nadine's daughter know you. My son Jabari Shaw Esquire up in. I'm going to
Ooh.
make sure that he gets a chance. We have had him here on the program. I'm going to make sure that he gets a chance to meet you as well. Okay, we are so proud of all our Jamaican women that are making a difference. Making a difference, making a difference. We are here to make a difference, and I could see, Judge Michael, that you are one that's making a difference. And what I love about Judge is she's not an uptown girl. Because all the times we have the uptown girls, they know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. She's down into the Kingston area where it's rough and tough to get out and sometimes challenging, but that's the kind of stuff that that grows you. That's the kind of stuff that gets you going and keep you going because you're from you didn't get it easy. It wasn't handed to you, Judge. You
Right.
know, so I want to commend you on that and stuff. Thanks for stopping in here, and it probably won't be the last time I'll have you here on Jamaican Explosion.
Well, thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure. So I really appreciate it, and I look forward to enjoying the rest of the show.
Okay, thank you. And hi to all the fans and family of Judge Michael.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. I love you. You're my friends, you're my family, and my friends are my family. So thank you, everyone.
Nadine, won't you just read off a couple of names of the folks that she has
Okay,
here?
Uh,
Avril Belfon. She said, "Well said, Suzette. Amen." Then
Okay,
there's Miss Pat. Hello, cultural sis, Judge. Taisha's friend. Hats off.
okay.
Somebody's asking if you're related to Dr. Josette Lewis Michael.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's possible she'll have to go do the search. That tree. What's it called again? The heredity search or something. Christine says we love you. Love
Ne-
you, Auntie. Nisi says, love you, Auntie. Proud of you. So you have your whole family, your whole village. I mean, this is fantastic. See more people coming in. Down to earth. That's Suzette. That's from Shelly Ann. Great inspiration, Judge Michael. That's from Paulette James.
Okay, wow. Okay, so we definitely have the judge is a big hit here on Jamaican Explosion this evening, and I look forward. Can't wait to have you back, Nadine.
Yes, Judge Michael, I see someone with my daughter's name. Her name is C. Sabrina Henry, and Gabriel is Gabriel Sarafina Henry. So close. Amazing interview. Yes, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and not just only when Judge Michael is here. Please like, follow, share. We have some amazing people doing amazing thing. But thank you so much for coming in on Women's Month, Judge Michael, to just be the icing on the cake.
Thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Happy Easter.
Happy
Same
Easter
to
to you,
you. Where's
Judge.
your bun and cheese?
I
And, and
have to
as,
find my gluten-free, vegan, all of that. I have to find my substitutes for this year.
And
Okay.
as we say at and welcome to Jamaican Explosion, Judge. Until next time, we say walk good.
Before
All
That's
you
the
go,
say.
Judge Michael, I hope if you're available, you'll bring some of your clan over to Mableton and come join us. We want to see in your colors. The parade starts at 7:30. So come on, line up with us. Let's see your yellow and your gold and your green, okay? You
yeah,
already have the clan, so come on over
yeah.
and
And I
join
have the
us.
shirt. I have my Atlanta Jamaica Association shirt. So I need to come. So I hope I'm able to make it. It's going in my calendar.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one now.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay,
Still
Nadine. So,
starstruck.
mhm. Well, you need to be because they're all stars. In Jamaica, we say everyone, every Jamaican is a star, so to speak. So, well, great job, great interview there, and just want to just say shout out to all those that are listening that has joined us today, and we're gonna continue in a couple of minutes here, and we got a video coming up of our host from This Is Jamaica. And she got something special, Nadine. I know you're gonna love this. But before she comes on, let me get things going for you right here. Let's hear a little music while we get changed over.
So for those who just listening, this is Jamaica. It's actually started with a poem. So hope you stay on and just listen, or better yet, like, follow, share to learn more about This is Jamaica.
Okay, so we have Adriana coming up in a video she sent today, and I'm not going to let it out of the bag. This video is an awesome video, and we're just so glad that she sent it over. And we got all kind of sort of things that are happening on Jamaican Explosion here. Folks are sending in videos and so forth like that, and we're able to show them to our audience. And I just want to see how much I appreciate Miss Adriana Clark, and she is actually the president of this is Jamaica, and that's the segment that we are in right now. This is Jamaica. Nadine, tell us a little bit about the This is Jamaica.
This is Jamaica was actually started by Peter Gracie, who is a poet, and he wrote a poem specifically called This is Jamaica, where he is encouraging young students to actually become more culturally aware and just to become passionate about it. So each year they have a competition where that school learns the poem and they recite the poem, then they are judged, and then the student that does the best is actually awarded the trophy. They also have a mural of that student. That student actually becomes an ambassador. So there's an ambassador from Norman Gardens, there's one from Redwood Primary, and the competition restarts in November. And they're encouraging any school that actually wants to participate. They're actually in the process of getting that website back up. Next week, Adrian or someone else may come on to give more details of any other school that would like to participate. But it's an awesome thing. It's similar to the JCDC competition. However, the student is actually reciting the poem, This is Jamaica, and there's so much benefits for the school and for the student and for the parent. Some of the responses or feedback we've had from the parents is that they didn't realize how skilled or how eloquent their student was or their child was, but just by listening to them articulate this poem and the passion and everything. But guys, you'll have to keep watching us, like, follow, share to learn more.
Okay, so we have a little video here from Adriana, and I'm going to get it going here. Okay, all right. If we could
Hello, my name is Adriana Clark, and I am the president of This is Jamaica. And I'm coming on today just to celebrate and say Happy International Women's History Month to all of our women at Jamaican Explosion and This is Jamaica and around the world. As we come on and celebrate women, I have to shout out the entire This is Jamaica team filled with such amazing and strong women. Dr. Andrea Thorpe, Miss Sophia Nicholson, our wonderful ambassador, Miss Tanya Liu, our vice president, Miss Joan Edgehill, and our very own and Jamaican Explosion's very own Miss Nadine Dixon. And also, I want to celebrate the past female board members of the organization. And of course, I have to send a big shout out to our three amazing ambassadors for This is Jamaica. Our first winner, Miss Courtney Greaves, and Miss Marion Morgan, and our current 2024 ambassador, Miss Marcia Dale. So a big shout out to them. And I just want to encourage those ladies and let them know that the sky is the limit. Those young ladies and women around the world, no matter your age, no matter where you come from, anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. So I just want to thank Jamaican Explosion for allowing us a chance to come on and talk about This is Jamaica and share all the great things that have been happening previously up until date. And of course, even though we're celebrating women's history, I have to send a big shout out to our founder, our spearhead, our visionary of This is Jamaica, Mr. Peter Gracie, and to Pastor Rob, who is leading such a great show on Jamaican Explosion, and who I was privileged enough to meet a few weeks ago in person, and I was so blessed by meeting you. Pastor Rob, what a wonderful spirit and person that you are. So grateful to know you and to have met you, and looking forward to the many, many endeavors that you will go on from here until all the days of your life. So once again, thank you so much to Jamaican Explosion for this opportunity to share about This is Jamaica, such an amazing organization that I'm privileged and honored to be a part of. And also, I'm grateful to be able to share a song with you today. This song that I will sing is called Jamaica is Calling, a song I wrote with another artist named Mason the Emperor. So big up Mason the Emperor, of course. And if you're like me who hasn't been to Jamaica in quite some time, this song is for you because Jamaica surely is calling. So, Jamaica, soon come. But I hope you enjoyed this song, and may God bless you all. And big up and shout out to all of our women around the world. Love, love, love you all. God bless you. Big up Caribbean Explosion. Big up, this is Jamaica. Hey. I wanna go back to Jamaica.
I know how you feel, baby girl, you can trust me. I know you alone, Philippine, Jamaica is calling.
I wanna go back to Jamaica.
Every single day, baby girl, you can trust me, Jamaica is calling.
I see the way you look at me, the way your soul is telling me, the stress we go through every day. If only we could get away, some time to free your mind, get loose and just unwind. No better place to see, just you and me. Down in Jamaica is where we need to be. I wanna go back to Jamaica.
I know how you feel, baby girl, you can trust me. I know you alone, Philippine,
Jamaica is calling. I wanna go back to Jamaica.
Every single day, baby girl, you can trust me, Jamaica is calling.
We walk along the beach every day, Montego Bay, feel the sunshine. Lose track of time and everything is nice. Rubber dubby 99, hey. Sit and watch the sunset in the grill. Eat some fish, yes, you know that we will. Swept away by the warm island breeze. Mangoes fall from the trees. This is just what I need. Jamaica, everything so irie. I wanna go back to Jamaica.
I know how you feel, baby girl, you can trust me. I know you alone, Philippine,
Jamaica is calling. I wanna go back to Jamaica.
Every single day, baby girl, you can trust me. Jamaica is calling.
Ooh, Jamaica's calling. Yeah. This is Jamaica, land of wood and water. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back. 'Cause I can't go another
Just tell
day.
me when you're ready.
I got to go right
I'll book a flight
away.
for two tonight.
Take a plane
Come
and
go if
go.
we reach out Jamaica. We celebrate the face in a
Paradise, my love.
And I'll live for you
Jamaica is
on Royal
calling,
Garden, the natural
and I
place.
cannot wait.
Romantic episode, best days of my life. Jamaica, everything is right.
I wanna go back to Jamaica.
I know how you feel, baby girl, you can trust me. I know you alone, Philippine.
Jamaica is calling. Yes, I got to go back to Jamaica.
Every single day, baby girl, you can trust me.
Jamaica is calling. Oh, I got to go to
I
Jamaica.
know how you feel, baby girl, you can trust me. I know you alone, Philippine.
'Cause Jamaica is calling. I got to go back to Jamaica.
Every single day,
Baby,
baby girl, you can trust me.
Jamaica is calling. Jamaica is calling.
All right, all right, all right. From our president of This is Jamaica right there. Wow, 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 wow. What
She
a
took
treat.
me back. She took me back to Montego Bay to where we're
Yeah,
singing. It's
yeah.
really calling.
Yes, for real. Nadine, I'm encouraging her to enter this into Garfield's competition. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She could definitely enter this one into the Jamaica Festival foreign competition. That
Yeah, she
yeah,
could, because
yeah,
she
she could
she got the bloodline. She
easily.
got the bloodline.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. It's always a pleasure when she comes on here at This is Jamaica, and always a pleasure to have the crew. Big up Mr. Peter Gracie and all the great work that he's doing in this Jamaican within the diaspora. Okay, wow.
I
Woo.
said to Adriana, I said, Adriana, you got to sing a nice song, a nice tribute to us ladies today. And she chose the perfect song. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, all right. If you're just tuning in, you're in tune to Jamaican Explosion with yours truly, Pastor Rob, along with Nadine Dixon from Atlanta Happening. And we're here just enjoying a beautiful spring, I could say it now, right? Spring evening in the Atlanta area. And I'm telling you, oh, we had some powerhouses on, and we're getting ready for another powerhouse to come on here as Nadine is in charge of the show this evening as far as ending out the month. Of Month here, Jamaican women making a difference. Wow, wow, within within the diaspora and back home in Jamaica. So, Nadine, I'm going to bring on our next guest, and she's been waiting. It's Dr. Camille Coates Clark, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And she's the strength to breed uh, person for today. So let's welcome her to the Jamaican Explosion screens. How are you doing, Doctor?
Great, great, great. How are you doing?
Very good. Good to have you here with us this evening, representing the strength of breed. Okay. All right. So, doctor, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself as you come to the Jamaican Explosion front here.
Well, I was born in Jamaica.
Ooh, your mic.
You might just turn up your mic a little bit more. That's all
Can you
right.
hear me? Well,
Nice and
Yes,
clear.
much better.
was
Wait.
was was that a little bit better?
Oh, that's way better. Way better. Okay. Okay. And
Okay, you can hear me okay now?
yes, very good. Very good. We can hear
Okay.
you.
Yes,
All
I
right.
was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica,
All right.
and I went to St. Catherine Primary, and then I went to Immaculate Conception. Woohoo! We did well in champs this year, and we've been doing extremely well. And I then went to Abilene Christian University for undergrad on a track scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to Howard University for medical school and did a fellowship, did residency at Howard, and did a fellowship in sports medicine, orthopedic surgery. So that's the main thing. Just a little tidbit.
Okay. All right. So as Nadine, as I promised, I'm gonna step aside and have you do the interviews with the ladies today. Okay. All right.
Yes, I'm still finding out here. So, Dr. Camille Coates Clark, I know you and I had a conversation this morning, and I just wanted to share a little bit of that, and I hope you're okay with that. I was just in awe of all the things you were juggling today before you joined the show. And a lot of persons, sometimes they see women so successful, they don't realize how much of a juggling act it is. But you all make it so easy, seems so easy.
Well, you have to figure out a way because the children are important, the husband is important, your job is important, church is important, God is important, and you have to just find a way to put it all together. So yes, it was a juggle today, but it happened. Our younger daughter, celebrated her 7th birthday, And so it was wonderful, and it went very well. And my older daughter uh, did extremely well in her 100-meter race today. She got first place in her 100-meter race today. And so, yes, it's a juggle, but we make it work through God. All things are possible. So,
I remember when I was talking to you, you were getting ready for the birthday party for the other one, and then you were saying you had to go to the trap meet to support
yes.
your other one. So, like I said, I'm just finding out right now with all you powerful women and how you have it all together.
Well, my husband was very helpful on today because they were actually close to the same time, but everything worked out extremely well.
I mean, a lot of persons would have just canceled us for today, and like
Oh,
my family have too much going on. So we are honored that you actually were still able to, commit to us and joining us today. So we definitely don't want to take that lightly. We do appreciate you. So I know, I mean, I can't run to save my life, but I see your ardent track and field for what? Four by 100.
100, 200, and 4 by 100. Yeah. And one time I did the 400, but I don't really like that one too much. The 100 is my favorite. Uh, yes.
And you what? At one point in time, you were representing Jamaica in 1984.
Yes, yes, yes. I ran when I was 11 years old. I represented Jamaica. That was the first time. And all throughout college and undergrad, and even some while I was in medical school. That's when I worked with Donald Quarry a lot. Uh, awesome person. And so, yes, started from a young age. Actually, I started when I was 8, working with Mike Cooper in Ensom City. And that was the first time. And then started actually representing Jamaica when I was 11. And everybody else was older than me in all the races.
So
So
how did you know that you wanted to do that? Because sometimes you're going to immaculate your all whatever. You don't want to get all sweaty.
no, well, I think so. Immaculate was known as we were the great swimmers, but we have come a long way and we're doing extremely well under our current coaches. There's several coaches, and we are doing extremely well. It's everything is, um, I guess, changed, but there's a lot of advances that we've made with over the last several years, and we won several gold medals and silver medals, and we did extremely well. So I think that is it's different from when I was running, and we didn't have a lot of the great coaches that we have now.
Yeah, so you guys are forced to contend with. We can't just take you for granted. We have
That's right.
I'm from Clarendon College, so I have to look out for you guys now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. I was able to visit with the coaches and the athletes, and it was wonderful. It was just wonderful to share with them, and I started lifting some weights and working out with them. It's fun. It's cool to just be able to support the athletes, in whatever way I can.
So where are you located in Florida?
Yes, I'm in Florida. I'm closest to the major city is Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm in an area called Fleming Island, and yes.
So do you like usually attend pen relays and stuff every year or
No, I don't attend pen relays, but I've attended champs on several occasions, and I like to follow it if I'm not able to be there. So
okay. I
yeah.
see your daughter is in your footsteps. I can see you on the sidelines, right?
Oh yes, I'm cheering her on. Yes.
Proud mama bear. So I also see that you are the first Jamaican board certified orthopedic surgeon in the USA. How did your journey lead to that?
So when I was 10 years old, I decided I want to be a doctor. When I was about 14, I decided I wanted to go into orthopedic surgery and sports medicine because of my love for athletics, because of my love to make people better, and because I just wanted to help people and get them back to their game, back in the game. And Uh, my mom has had some orthopedic issues that I am happy that I was able to be a part of in a great way. And so I just like to get people back in the game, and to see them get better after surgery is just an amazing thing, to for them to be able to get back to what they wanted to do, and to see the joy on their faces when they tell you that they actually feel better. So it's a lot of different factors, and I can't think of all of them right now, but it's 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 a great field to be in, and you fix people's, you fix their bones, you fix their muscles, their tendons, and they're back in the game. So, and I have even there's a patient I have that she's Jamaican, and it's really nice when you get to see some Jamaicans also, and she's trying to get into professional pickleball. So when we start hearing about her, we'll talk about her again. But you just get people back in their game. It's amazing, right? That you're able to get better and do what you want to do. So yes.
I also see that you work with the veterans and stuff. So
Yes, yes, and they're very appreciative of what you do, because they serve and they go to so many extreme situations, uh, and they're a very grateful set of people. And like I said, I get to meet a lot of Jamaicans who are coming through, and a lot of other Caribbean people as well. And so it's an honor to be able to serve them in that way.
I see you also got awarded the Lang Medical Publications Award for Outstanding Achievement. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was the first student to present a paper at the National Medical Association, which uh, as a Howard representative, I was the first student to actually present a paper in that venue. So I think that I guess the people that look out saw that it was a great thing, and chose to award me for that special research.
Is that a field that a lot of females are in, or is that more male dominated?
It's definitely male dominated. So there are approximately, and there may be some updates, but there are approximately 6% female orthopedic surgeons, period.
Mm.
And of that amount, the African American, Caribbean American, all of that are only 0.6%. 0.6% look like you and I. That's it. That's a very small amount. And I'm just proud that we're able to uh, recruit more, and we've certainly had an increase. A lot of younger residents were able to match into the program. Medical students match into the orthopedic surgery program, and so it's more diverse now. I'm very proud of the diversity that's occurring. The American Academy of Orthopedic Surgery has certainly put an emphasis on diversifying the field, and so we're increasing in numbers. I belong to several women's groups that are in orthopedics, and it's really exciting because we're able to share common things, not just about orthopedics, but about children, about just everyday things. So the support groups that I belong to are very helpful.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, just thinking that you're point 0.6
Percent.
and just percent, and trying to overcome all those challenges.
Yes, it's a very difficult field to get into. In general, you have to be really at the top of your game and score high on the different examinations that they want you to go through, and be able to function, and to know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Uh, despite, and even though you're not the dominant one in the field, and you let the guys know, hey, I can do it. Actually, there was an article that said that female surgeons were actually viewed as being better by the patients. And I think one of the things is that women are just naturally more nurturing, caring. Not that the guys are not that way, but we are more so in that manner. because we are giving birth to the children and we're just more nurturing. And so an article stated, yes, female surgeons are better, bottom line. So, yeah.
As you said that, one of my favorite shows is The Good Doctor.
Yes.
Dr. Lim, I forgot what struggles. I think she was struggling with mental health. One of the things
Yes.
she was struggling with, and they were encouraging her to seek counseling. And her
Yes.
biggest concern was she's already has so much stacked up against her in terms of being a female in a male dominated area, being in a position that's male dominated. Do you ever encounter any of those sort of stigma just by being a female?
Oh, definitely. And I think also, in my church, we were discussing that in general. Um, People who are African American are more unlikely to seek medical help for a mental condition, which is sad because of the stigma associated with, oh, she's crazy, she don't know what she's doing or whatever, or she's. But we have to remove that stigma and seek help, because your mind, you can really have, there's a book that I'm reading right now by Joyce Meyer about battlefield of the mind. And you have to know that you can achieve, you can do it, and not let anybody tell you what you can't do. So I think you have to really make sure that you have your mind right in order to succeed. Your mind is just so important that you focus on the right things. And for me, that's focusing on God, and everything else will follow. You just have to make sure your mind is right and you're thinking positive, that you can do all things through Christ.
So, in terms of you speak strongly of your faith, has this always been with you, or are you recent in the faith itself?
I would say I grew up in the Anglican Church, the St. James Cathedral in Spanish Town, and I was always going to church, but I didn't have, it wasn't like that zeal that has certainly increased. And um, just just seeing, going through what I see and the patients, and you see people that are not as well off as you in terms of their health. And people have had amputations or whatever because they've been in the war or whatever situation. I developed a greater zeal in my Christian walk as an adult. uh, so no, it hasn't. I mean, I always went to church, but I've developed a even greater zeal. You see all these things happening, and you want to help in some ways, and you want to just share with others so that you can help them. And it's not always about even just like lecturing to people and quoting scripture and all of that. You have to, show them love, and I think that that is very important. And so, uh, I try to help medical students, and particularly female medical students, because they need to know what you've gone through, and they ask a lot of um, very very difficult questions with regards to actually to mental health and coping with everything. How do you cope, and how do you manage your time? And so I think that it is important for the women who are doing well in their professions to reach out to the younger people. And it's always a pleasure to speak with particularly the female athletes at Immaculate and other places, and just to reach out and see how you can help them, how you can encourage them, because we want to see our women soar. We want to see our men soar also, but I'm talking specifically about women because we're being recognized this month, and I just feel that it's important to reach out to all the younger ones so you can be a mentor to them.
So, one of the things, I mean, going back to mental health, how do you separate that and just leave that at work and not take that home with you?
Well, uh, it's not always possible to just leave it at work. Sometimes you do think about a patient that may be going through a difficult time, and I, may say a prayer, or I might share something with a family member. Of course, you don't call the name, but it's not, you can't always just you have to share. You have to share with someone, and I think it's important to talk to someone. I mean, you're not going to dominate your home life with just that, but you're going to share. I think it's important to share what's going on and be able to, uh, so when you talk about something, things always seem better, you know, when you have a listening ear. So, not that you're taking all your problems home, but you are sharing with people that you know will listen to you.
I know Judge Lynn Tyler always says she has her psychiatrist on speed dial. Do you have yours on speed dial?
Actually, no, my psychiatrist is Jesus. So
The best
I mean,
one.
I pray, I pray a lot. And we have a special thing. We have a prayer line every morning on our church, and that is a very encouraging um, aspect of my life. We come on and we have people from all over the US on this prayer line, and we know everybody's voices and a lot of people in my church. And I think that having a constant way that you can um, decompress through exercise and through um, prayer, I think that that to me is is a very good stress reliever, right? So uh no, I can't say that I have a psychiatrist on speed dial. My speed dial is just talking to God and talking to my friends and talking to fellow Christians and that kind of a thing, because it's important to share. And being a part of all these organizations that I'm a part of. I'm a part of Jack and Jill Incorporated of America, and that's a really um, an excellent way to share. And I've met a lot of good friends with that. So just all different groups that I'm a part of, supportive groups that you can be yourself and voice your opinion about whatever it is that might be affecting you. I think that's very important to be a part of groups where you have similar interests. I think that's really important.
So, for those of us that's not familiar with Jack and Jill, what's that all about?
So, Jack and Jill is an organization which really started with a group of African American mothers. And we seek to empower and educate children between the ages of 2 and 19 to expose them to just all facets of life, financial, teaching them about stocks and all this stuff. I mean, I didn't know about stocks and all of that stuff when I was 10 years old. I never hear of that. I mean, I wouldn't had no idea. Teaching them about uh, politics, teaching them about medicine, teaching them about just all facets of life. And there are over 252 chapters in the U.S. And so it's a very supportive group of women. The fathers are considered to be auxiliary members, but it's a really strong family unit that we have, and we experience a lot of empowering uh, educational uh, events. We have a lot of empowering educational events. So it's an amazing thing. We have National Fitness Day coming up. We have Black Family Day coming up. It's amazing. So yes, Jack and Jill.
So, when do you find time for your husband? Because you
We
have so much going on.
Well, we find a way to communicate. Yeah, we just find a way. You just have to find a way. I mean, for instance, I mean, like I speak to mom every day because mom is in Jamaica. Unfortunately, my dad is looking over me right now. But he was, oh my goodness, he was an avid fan and all of that, and he used to run to, and mom used to run to. But yes, I mean, I find time for my husband because you have to find time. I mean, we're married for 24 years now. I must I'm bound have to find some time. You just have to figure out where you're going to fit it in, right? So yeah.
So, what exactly is the secret? Because some persons they can barely make it to a year, much less 24, and going strong and juggling so many hats.
The secret is communication, to talk to each other, to pray together, and to just be there for each other, because even when you might not be in the same place at the same time, just a phone call, a little text message, we didn't have all of that stuff when I was younger. This text message business has really it's really, you don't know how you would function without a phone these days. But I think communicating and um just offering your support for whatever each person is going through. Yeah, communication is key.
Yeah, and I can definitely see, well, based on our conversation this morning, that you guys have it down to a science. One is one location with one child, the other one is that the other location with the other child. So I can see the dynamics, that teamwork.
Yes, teamwork. There you go, teamwork. Yes.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely awesome. I mean, you're gonna have to, if you don't already have it, maybe write some things down for us women and men as well. You know what actually works.
Yes. Okay, I'll have to think about that. And I'm writing something, putting something together. I don't know when I'll be ready, but I am. So yes, I think everybody should write a book. Because you don't know. We don't know each other's story. We don't know what we've all been through, and I think it's important to share, because I've read some books and some autobiographies, and you really don't know what another person's story is. So it's good to hear about the struggles, but also to hear about the successes.
Right, right. Because all too often, sometimes we don't hear about the successes. We just hear about the failures. But just to have somebody as a role model who's successfully doing it and conquering so many things, that's quite an inspiration.
Thank you. But I mean, it wasn't always easy. I had to take bus to school and all them things, and to go to immaculate. It hasn't always been easy. You just do what you have to do, and you just make it work. You see, our motto at Immaculate is through difficulties to excellence. Ad astra per aspera, the Latin version. So you do what you have to do, and you try and focus on the positive, and you just know that. This too shall pass, whatever it is you're going through, and that there's a medal waiting at the finish line for you. Put it in terms of track, there's a medal waiting at the finish line just in life, and everything won't always be easy, but you just have to focus and find a way to make it happen, and find support groups, and work with that. And I think that's really important, to not keep everything to yourself. You look at the rates of suicide amongst young people, it's horrible. And because somebody may not have reached out to them and noticed that they were having a problem. So I think that's really important, to talk to people, and talk to your children. And sometimes people are just so caught up in their own selves that they don't talk to their children, and then the next thing you know, you know their lives are just disastrous, and something bad is happening. So communication is key in a lot of ways, in all ways, really. uh, Especially with your family members and anybody that you feel like might be going through a rough time.
Yes, I kind of just came back on board here. Wow. What an excellent interview here going on with Dr. Camille Coates Clark, our guest from the Strength to Breathe today. And Miss Dr. Clark, let me ask you this question. Have you been back to Jamaica? Have doing any conferences? Are you speaking anywhere soon coming up or so forth like that? Because we definitely have to hear from you. You just can't keep it to yourself when you go
Well,
ahead.
I don't have anything planned right now. I was in Jamaica in December,
Hmm.
January, earlier this year.
Hmm.
Left in January.
Hmm.
I may be going back in August. I'm not sure. There's my first coach from Ensom City. He was inviting me to something that's happening at the school.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure, in August sometime.
Yeah.
So yes, but I have spoken like with the Immaculate. young ladies when I go back.
Hmm.
It's always a pleasure to see them. But I just know of something in August right now. I don't remember the dates or anything. Yes.
So, doctor, uh, when you were growing up in Jamaica, did you was a doctor on your mind to become a doctor? Or was it something that you came and grew into?
Well, I started out as a brownie. I was a brownie, with the Girl Scouts
Yes,
when I
yes.
was like 6 years old. And
Hmm.
we used to go to these old people homes. I call them old people homes, and
Hmm.
bring them apples and different things and sing for them and just, do the good things like that. So
Yes.
I guess from that age, I kind of just had a care for people.
Hmm.
And so that grew into, I just remember when I was 10, I just kind of got excited about the sciences and all of that stuff. And I wanted to help people. So, and then from that age, and then being involved in track, I wanted to get people. I thought about the whole idea of getting somebody back to their game. And
Mm.
so, yeah, so it started from I was about 6, I suppose, when I was a brownie, I
Hmm.
would say. And then the interest increased as I was educated more. And I think when I was just before I went to medical school, I would hang out with this doctor. I was working at a hospital as a clerk, administrative clerk.
Hmm.
And I never take lunchtime. During lunchtime, I during lunchtime I would go and watch surgeries. So I
Hmm.
would watch carpal tunnel surgeries where you release the pressure on the nerve in the hand, in the wrist. So I never take lunch. I was just trying to watch this doctor, seeing what he was doing, and you just I just had this interest. I don't know. That's those
Hmm.
are some of the reasons, I guess. Yes.
So from a very early age. But doctor, if there's a young lady that's listening right now who's thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. It might seem quote unquote a little nerdy. Uh, what kind of advice would you give her?
I would say don't give up. I would say you can do anything. I'd say just be persevere
Mm-hmm.
and be determined.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. Give me a call. You can do it. There's nothing that you cannot do,
Mm.
especially when you have the right focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I feel the right focus is to have a church home,
Mm-hmm.
have somebody that you trust,
Mm-hmm.
speak to your pastor, speak
Mm-hmm.
to your parents,
Mm-hmm.
and but certainly I'm not joking about giving me a call, but I'm sure there's some way they can email me because I gave out my email to a lot of medical students recently at one of the conferences I went to here.
Mm-hmm.
And just reach out and speak to somebody in the field that you want to go into.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certainly available. I will I might not call them back right away or answer right away, but certainly they could try. And so I think just reach out to someone who is in that area that you want to pursue and never give up. Never give up.
Yeah, yeah, and you mentioned that morning prayer, and Nadine, I'm seeing a little correlation between all the ladies that are just so rooted in their faith and are successful that they have this the little morning prayer going. Tell us about yours, and if someone wanted to join into that prayer. I don't know if it's only for women or only for or it's for both. But
No,
if
it's for both.
it's for both, oh, really, really good. Ooh, one that includes men. Ooh, that's all right. That's all right.
We
That's all right.
recognize the value of the
Yeah.
men here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I'm so glad you recognize us. well, well, praise God for that. And
I
your
can give you the link. I can give you the link afterwards. Yeah, I can send you the link. Yeah. Anybody can join.
yeah, yeah. So uh, just the link. Right, you just wanna do you have it that you could say it out or
Let me see
okay.
now. Wait, let
Mm-hmm.
me see here. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Uh,
If not, we could post it up at another time, so you don't have to be stressed out for that. Okay.
yeah, I have it on here, but probably
Mm-hmm.
probably at another time. I don't
Yeah.
know the number by heart. You know, we get so accustomed to just clicking on our phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just get so accustomed, so you don't memorize the numbers.
Yes,
But
yes.
if I find it
Yeah.
before we're done, I would be definitely happy to share it.
Yeah. So, and let me ask this question. Being a doctor, uh, how the spirituality comes into play, because it's so medicine is such a unique uh, uh, profession by itself. How does the spirit, is there a linkage there for you with your practice and your spirituality?
Definitely, definitely, very much so. So I don't want to offend patients, but somehow I kind of just know who to speak with.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they actually end up being the first person to mention something. And so a lot of patients I'll pray with before their surgery if they
Mm.
want me to.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad I met a Christian doctor," and da 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 da, and then they just start going on. So, and I pray before every surgery. It's a very, very important factor for me. Very important factor for me. Definitely, I couldn't do without being able to do that. And we live in a country where we're free to do that. Thank
Mm.
goodness, thank God, right? Because some countries you can't do that,
Mhm.
and then you get in trouble and they're trying to crucify you
Mm.
literally.
Right?
So, hmm?
I'm just saying, right? You know, we in Good Friday and the whole crucifixion and everything.
Yes, yes, and I mean, yeah, it's when you think about it. I was talking to a friend, and she was saying, you know, she can't even watch that whole movie anymore because it was just
Mhm.
horrible. An innocent man being treated like that, and he did it for
Mhm.
us. So it's we just have to get the right focus. But it's extremely important to me to maintain my faith and to share my faith as an orthopedic surgeon. It's very it's a very helpful thing. It's very empowering. It's a great thing. I mean, God is amazing. Can I say? Yes.
But
So
not only uh, uh, orthopedic surgeon, but the first Jamaican born female. Wow, what a feat! What a feat! You are a trailblazer, and you're setting the pace for many uh, young ladies to follow. And we're just so glad that you came by here. We're delighted,
thank
Nadine.
you.
Like
Um,
I said, I'm still finding out because I saw her mother role earlier. Now she's in a whole different zone, and she bringing together her Christianity, her faith. I mean, she's just all woman. She's just complete. I mean, like I said, I'm finding out right
well,
now.
I have a good mother role model too.
Mhm.
So my mom is a Christian, and she goes to Covenant Community Church, and she goes to church as much as she can when she's well. She had a
Mhm.
little spell, but thank God she is doing a lot better, and she sings when she can. So uh, it's a mother's influence, a dad's influence. Like I said, I don't have my dad right now, but I have him. I still hear what he's saying to me or what he said to me years ago, and he was an amazing dad. And my mother is a very strong influence because she, uh, with her help, I'm able to figure out how to multitask and to not give up. She is very, very encouraging woman. She's a great woman. Yeah, she has done historical things, taught for 40 years in Jamaica, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm proud of Jamaica, and I'm proud of the things that we can achieve, not only as women but just as Jamaicans. I'm just so proud of our country, and it's just a pleasure.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, there you have it, folks. This is indeed Jamaican Explosion here on a Saturday evening, and we're blessed to have to have Dr. Camille Coates Clark with us this evening, and so many others, and of course the great Miss Nadine doing the interviews this evening, and uh, just a fine way to end off our month. Nadine, I don't know if you could remember some of the names that passed through here this month, as far as guests on Jamaican Explosion. As far as this month, I think we have been well represented. Uh,
Well represented, but
y-
I mean,
Let me see.
it's like each time you speak to them, I'm just always in awe of how many hats they're wearing, and they are wearing it so well. Unless you know the story behind it.
Mhm.
Behind it, yes. And I might add, this is not a woman, but my brother, Dr. Cameron Coates, has been on your program.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
yes,
didn't
he
know
Your
Cameron.
has.
skin
And
on
it
it.
Oh,
is
Your
amazing.
skin.
oh, I didn't know. I didn't
I
even.
didn't know that
I
either.
didn't even.
Cameron's my big
I,
friend,
I didn't. That's our big friend Nadine. Yeah,
right?
we didn't even know make the connection, Nadine. Shame of us.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah. Cameron, yeah,
I
you know.
couldn't get off without calling his name.
Yes, yes. Well, of course, he's a good friend of ours. We work together well. He worked with us in the Atlanta Jamaican Community Awards, Caribbean Community Awards, Caribbean Community Awards, and Cameron's a great friend of ours. Oh, yeah. Wow.
What a
Thank
small
you.
world it is.
Well,
Full circle.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
yes.
Wow. Yes, indeed.
He is such a fantastic person, and
Mhm.
his organization that he's doing. We'll definitely have to get him back on to talk more
Most
about
definitely.
his passion and his non-profit that he's spearheading, he and
Mhm.
his wife. So
Okay, a whole lot of greatness in that family there, huh? Whole lot of community service and helping out others, and yeah, wow, wow, woo. All right, well, that's great. And of course, you're a representative of the Strength to Breathe, so we're definitely going to have you back here uh here on the show with us. I got a good friend of mine's here checking in from Massachusetts. I haven't seen him in a while. Maurice is saying is checking in from Massachusetts, saying he's enjoying the program today.
Mm.
Good to have you here with us, Maurice from Springfield, Massachusetts. Oh, we're getting folks from all over today, huh?
right, right. And I see Patrice Young saying, Auntie Camille, we're so proud of you.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. All right. So on that note, I think Nadine that we have had a great ending to the month of March, which have been Women's Month. Give me, Nadine, your wrap up on this. Why a Women's Month?
Because one of the things is that women sometimes we do so many things, we wear so many hats, and it's not acknowledged. Sometimes our kids, even our kids, they take it for granted what we do. Like I said just this morning when I was speaking to Dr. Coates, she was juggling being at a birthday party with one daughter, then trying to get to the trap meet for the other daughter, just so both can feel represented. So sometimes our kids do not recognize what we do until they become a mother themselves. Sometimes the spouses don't recognize how much that woman contributes to making that family whole. And so I just think that Women's Month, it's just a great way to acknowledge women, what they're doing and what they're going to continue doing.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay. And what's April now? What's whose month is that
I,
supposed to be?
I don't know. I'm just still in off Women's Month, okay? April Fool's Month.
Oh,
I
oh,
don't know.
okay. But we have to get a men's month here going. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You- Yeah, we have to get a men's month here.
The pressure is on, Pastor Rob. You're gonna have to make sure the men's month is just as awesome as today's guest that closed out Women's Month. We have had other females for this month as well, but we really wanted to just use today's episode to highlight women in general.
Okay, so on that note, we're gonna say until next week. And guess what? June. It's June. It's June that it's Men's Month. Okay, and guess what?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna come with some power pack men that you all never seen before. Gonna put me on the spot like that, you know. But we don't compete. We appreciate our women. We take care of our women. We protect our women. We love our women. Coming from the great pastor, Rob. All right. Until
All right.
next week. Until next
Until
week.
next week, guys. Walk good.
Like we say here
Thank you.
in the explosion, walk good. Okay.